The latest update for Star Citizen, currently available on the test server, brings with it a variety of new content. It's content that highlights what makes the game exceptional, but also, conversely, highlights why Star Citizen as a premise continues to remain problematic. One of the best examples of this in update 3.17.2 is the new Reclaimer Derelict on Microtech, a crash site turned settlement known as Ghost Hollow. It's an area of stunning beauty. Intricately and lovingly designed, this rusted shipwreck has in part been claimed by nature. It's a location that, quite simply, could be a center prop for any AAA game. So, why do I say that this amazing location highlights that Star Citizen still remains problematic? Well, let's dive in and take a look at exactly what is going on there. So yes, I've made no secret that I feel Star Citizen is at the same time amazing and problematic. It's one of those rare games that I find extremely appealing, but also very off-putting. I'm not in any one single camp when it comes to Star Citizen, and patch 3.17.2 really emphasises just why that is. Ghost Hollow then is an amazing location. As you can see from the footage on screen, and no doubt have seen from the many other videos out there, it really is a very special place. It once again highlights CIG's ambitions when it comes to this game. It also highlights the technological challenges that they are facing and slowly, step by step, overcoming, although of course many of those still remain to actually overcome. At any rate, when I first landed at Ghost Hollow, I was immediately in awe of the scale of the Reclaimer. I found myself wandering the site, checking out all the little details, and feeling extremely immersed in this wonderful, wonderful environment. There's no other space game out there that comes even close to creating these types of locations. This holds true for both the external parts of the site as well as the numerous internal parts. The shipwreck most definitely feels like a wreck. It's huge and towering, yet clearly rusted and very old. Parts of it lay broken and irreparable. The ground around it is suitably damaged and deformed by the ship's catastrophic impact. Scattered throughout the site are the markings of makeshift civilization, lights and electric, sheets, boxes and rough shelter. The place feels very much alive, yet at the same time somehow feels abandoned. For me then, this is, and always has been, the magic of gaming. That is, exploring an amazing location for the first time, whether it was the ruins of Morrowind in Elder Scrolls 3 or the epic tunnels of Buccaneer's Den way back in Ultima Online. It's very clear then that CIG understand what gamers dream of, what they hope for, and what they want. Yet, the more I roamed the wreck, the more I once again was reminded of just how much Star Citizen is actually missing. Right now then, the title is a great sandbox. If you are a member of a large group of friends or organisation, if you are a streamer or YouTuber with loads of followers with who you play, then Ghost Hollow, like many other locations in Star Citizen, is the stuff of dreams. You'll be able to plan out some seriously fun player-created events around these locations. Yet, on the other hand, if you are a lone player or enjoy playing the game with a couple of friends, then things quickly feel decidedly different. Now, this is true for one very simple reason. Whilst Ghost Hollow is a stunning centerpiece, it currently is devoid of any real meat. Now, of course, there is a mission to this location. This actually comes down to a fetch quest, where you're tasked to retrieve a number of boxes. Fetch quests often get a lot of flack thrown at them, but personally, I actually enjoy Star Citizen's rendition of this particular mission type. But that said, even in Star Citizen, this gameplay loop can get old, especially when added to locations as rich as Ghost Hollow. The site deserves far richer gameplay content and something perhaps way more dynamic. And talking of dynamic gameplay, From time to time, a ship will arrive to drop off some NPCs. Unfortunately, I haven't encountered this directly myself, so I don't have any footage to show. However, I have seen friends encounter this encounter, and things, well, they can get a little janky. Whilst CIG have updated the planetary nav mesh to make things easier for the AI is still, well, not all that good. It's another of those things which is waiting on future technology from CIG, specifically server meshing, which is still quite a long way out from being delivered. In either event, the dynamic nature of hostile NPCs arriving here at Ghost Hollow is most certainly heading in the right directions. Yet, I can't help but feel it needs expanding upon, and quite significantly. More on that subject in just a minute though. Meanwhile, other players can certainly add to the dynamic nature of this location. Players are frequently arriving and leaving Ghost Hollow. In fact, at one point my character slipped on a bug whilst up on a gantry. Now I'm not sure if the bug was poisonous upon contact, but my character was unable to get back up again. The world also started stuttering. Now, even with all that in mind, it turned into one of those nice dynamic moments where another player tried to help me back on my feet. This is one area where Star Citizen really does excel. Moments where players can help out on occasions of compassion, or equally moments that can turn into true chaos and terror. It's this sandbox then, this emergent gameplay nature of Star Citizen that CIG really does need AI to mirror in the future. And yes, I realise that is a very big ask. It's something that hasn't really been done before, but isn't that the entire point of Star Citizen? To go beyond the scope of what other games and studios consider possible. And if not, well then unfortunately locations such as Ghost Hollow are destined to be little more than sightseeing destinations, or perhaps destinations for simplistic gameplay loops. Of course, they will always continue to remain great destinations for player group activity, but Star Citizen really does need to be about more than just that. Now, Ghost Hollow isn't the only new location in patch 3.17.2. Scattered around Stanton are numerous colonial outposts, and whilst none of them have the grandeur of the Reclaimer Derelict, they are each new destinations and sites of interest. There's also a number of new places in space. They go a long way to add in to the scope of Stanton. They make the game world feel more alive than ever. What's more, they are integrated into the world in a very believable way. The word is probably cliché at this point, but it adds immensely to the game's sense of immersion. Yet, despite the number of new locations, they all suffer from the same fundamental problem. They lack in the way of rich gameplay. It's not that they are boring, far from it. It's not that they aren't interesting. Rather, it's that they lack the depth and complexity to truly push them to the level they deserve. Now, do I have any suggestions to help with this? Well, yes. If the idea of these places is to add life to the game, then they should do more than just that visually. Eventually, they should become dynamic and constantly shifting parts of the game. For example, one week, Ghost Hollow is an abandoned and empty shipwreck. The next week, it is a settlement for a pirate group. The following week, a hub for traders. The same should occur at colonial outposts and any other such destination. All of this should change and occur based upon player actions. Of course, maybe CIG have these plans in mind. Maybe they have said one day that this is the ultimate goal. And seriously, it's these concepts and dreams for the future that perhaps have so many people hooked on what Star Citizen will one day become. It's certainly something that I want to see as well. But now though, that's not where we are with Star Citizen. It's also entirely unclear when, or if, the game will ever get there. It means that patch 3.17.2 really is a highlight for Star Citizen. It highlights what the game excels at, and what it continues to miss. But sure, I entirely understand that these are all baby steps, each one adding to the evolving product, each step contributing towards update 4.0 and then beyond. It's an impressive feat, but also one that is, at the same time, both exceptional and problematic. That then brings us to an end of this video, As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.